Modest 50,000.
It's expensive, I found.
No,
It's not.
it's knowledge.
It's knowledge. Okay. This book at 50,000. Grab it. The River of My Life by Afand Frank-Baine. I'm going to have a copy.
It's okay.
All right, thank you. Do Askaris fall in love?
They are human beings. They do. And they are very good lovers because they are disciplined lovers.
How?
Because they don't have much time to these petty quarrels and the like. That's why. And because the duty takes much of their time, the little time they spare is really to be very good lovers in prisons.
Okay. Are you retiring soon?
Yes, I am, like I told you, I was born 1965. I think by the end of this year, I should be clocking 60. And if I'm still under public service, then I will be required to retire.
And you go to?
I go to do my home. I have my home. I told you I come from Isinjiro. I'll go to my home Isinjiro. But even here where we are having an interview, this is my second home in Kampala. I'll go and do my farming because I like farming as a person.
Served in the Uganda Prison Service for over 20 years. A mentor, a teacher, a parent, as well as a husband. This is none other than Frank-Baine Mayanja, who serves as the Uganda Prison Spokesperson. Apart from him serving in the prison, what else does he do? I personally know him as the most approachable officer in the service. Afande, who is Frank-Baine Mayanja?
Frank-Baine Mayanja is a born of 14th December 1965 from the district of Isinjiro in a village called Masha. And he has moved a long journey by studying, of course, from Kakoma Primary School, Isinjiro Secondary School, St. Joseph's Vocational School, Nkozi NTC, Makerere University, and UMI. Finally, joined the prisons as a cadet assistant superintendent of prisons, and he has been going through ranks until my current rank, which is senior commissioner of prisons and a spokesperson for prisons. I think the longest serving government communicator for now 17 years. Well, I can give you a simple history that as a young man, I thought I would become a Catholic priest. But it didn't turn out to be like that. I instead thought now I concentrate on the books and become a lawyer, which I also didn't make. Then I finally became a teacher by profession, by getting a diploma in secondary education. From there, I continued to the university. I did social sciences. So that means that from now being a teacher, I was also a social scientist. And but I was able to teach at least for 7 years. And it was after 7 years that I got a job as a prisons officer, and I joined as a cadet assistant superintendent of prisons. That was 1996.
1996. I was 4 years.
Yeah.
So, Afande, we have seen you always at work on duty. In your free time, what do you do?
In my free time, I do a few things. One, I like reading. I read books a lot. I like watching TV. And I enjoy debate. I enjoy the debates and discussions. And sometimes I hang out with my friends.
Okay. What's your favorite debate? Is it political? Is it entertainment?
Actually, my favorite debates are about development. I would say economical debates impress me more, of course followed by politics, because the nature of the job I do, you cannot shy away from politics. But I am more encouraged, like I am always telling people how I was inspired by His Excellency's message of household income. And it is out of those debates that eventually even the level of investments I'm making are in those lines because of that kind of economic.
So you've tried to implement one?
Yeah, I've tried, not one, not two. I mean, I've tried to implement as many as possible because I am a farmer. I do crops. I do animal husbandry. I have a service center. So I have diversified. Even now, recent, I have even embarked on coffee farming. Yeah, listening to the message still from the debate that is generated around coffee. I picked interest, and then I'm also now a coffee farmer.
Okay, debates are normally kind of sensitive. Some people, while debating, they even end up hating each other. Some even hint on each other. Do you remember a debate that almost pissed you off?
Well, unfortunately, I look at the content, not the personalities who are involved. I tend to listen to understand that human beings, anyway, I think using the background of philosophy and psychology, I understand that people always belong to must have different perspectives. And actually, when everybody belongs to one side, then the argument dies off. So there must be the two sides of the coin. And me, what I do, I want to toe the middle line. And I enjoy either side. But of course, I don't believe in extremism, especially the abusive debates. Yeah, I remember one time I think I was in studio with the current president of the Law Society. Then he started abusing me as stupid and the like, and I walked out because I wouldn't answer back to him.
Oh, is working out professionally?
Yeah, because when somebody calls me stupid and he expects me to argue with him, the best thing is to walk away, not to answer back. Because if I answer back, then I'm the same as what he thinks.
Sometimes they say, as a spokesperson, you need to ensure the person you're having a debate with, you make them understand, even when you're receiving insults.
Not when you declare me stupid, because when somebody declares you stupid, then you have no argument. But if somebody is asking a critical question that you answer, that's okay. But then when somebody says you are stupid, then that is personal. So he's looking at the person, not the argument. So if somebody says what you are saying is stupid, it's okay. But somebody say you are stupid, then that is now me. And if it is me, then I stop there. Because I know I'm not stupid, then I don't have to wait. I live in your world and I walk away.
Okay, in the same line, as a spokesperson, I know you have received many insults in the public. Someone might call you abusing you, someone might tell you ababbi babo, any kind of a spokesperson for the many years that you have lived. Yes. How do you cope up with this situation?
No, I must understand that I am putting on two dresses. The first dress is the dress of Baine. The second dress is the dress of Uganda Prison Service. So if I pick the message to come for prisons, then I have no reason even to get annoyed. But if it is my personal, then there I have to be very cautious about it. I may not get annoyed, but I will cautiously walk off that line of assault. But if it is in the line of prisons, then I have to also analyze it, to interrogate it further. Is that what does this person what message is this person trying to relay? And then my work is to try and be as truthful as I know. And that one saves me a lot.
As an officer, have you ever used power to maybe to follow up on some people who have insulted you on personal issues or even in the service? Have you ever tried to take that initiative?
I don't have that power. I don't have that power, so I don't need to follow anybody about that. Because when you're a spokesman, where is the power? You only have your power, the words. You have the words, you say them. And then it stops there. And then, of course, like I told you, if I am speaking on behalf of prisons, I should accept whatever comes out. And even I know that if a journalist asks me, yes, there are those who may want to be personal, but sometimes they do it because they don't know. Actually, in the majority of times, because there are not many things known about prisons. So when somebody comes aggressively like that, I first say, wait, let me first help you understand, so that you ask me a better question. Because if you are going to ask me a question, I call it a careless question.
Basing on emotions.
I can also choose to give you the answer which will embarrass both of us.
You do it deliberately?
Yes, because me, I know the facts about prisons, and I see you making an error by trying to bring an argument which is actually not, like somebody can say, you people in police. Now I can decide to capitalize on, because you have said police, and shut the other good question you are going to ask. So I prefer I sit down, I explain, I say, look, if it is about, maybe it is feeding, maybe it is dressing, maybe it is cutting the prisoners here, I first tell you, I said, look, let me go through with you. Let me show you what the book says. Then from there you ask me a question, and then we move on. And it has worked for me successfully. That I don't believe in keeping somebody in ignorance, and you are forced to answer questions in a crooked way, because at the end of the day it does not give the journalist mileage, and it doesn't give you the mileage. So I would rather volunteer content so that I get good questions and therefore good answers. Thank you.
Have you ever gotten annoyed? Because I've not seen you getting annoyed.
No, that would be a lie if they told you that a human being doesn't get annoyed. We get annoyed by situations. One of the easiest ways I will tell you that sometimes you could be the jam. Jam is one of the things that disturbs my mind. But not that I am in the jam. When you are trying to sort out the problem so that everybody can go, then somebody comes carelessly and blocks everybody, and is arrogantly even abusing you, those who are trying to sort out the situation. So some of those things disturb me. Yes, but even in the nature of my job, you'll find that when I used to be OC, even now as a spokesperson, there is when an incident happens and you really see that the OC was totally negligent. And then when you try to talk to the OC, he just arrogantly wants to answer to you. Of course, that becomes a turn-off, but that one doesn't mean that you should be exchanging the bad words, because if you do, then you are the same like the other person. You know me, I understand one thing, that if a madman throws a stone at you and you throw it back, then you are both mad. The one who is observing does not know who started and who is not. Yeah. So, but I try to manage to keep within the middle of my emotions. And besides, the majority of the people we have issues to do with emotional imbalance. So I am cautious about that whatever I do, however I do it, I should know that if I mismanage my emotions, and then it will lead me into something else. That's why I tell you that when I find it's too much, I walk away.
Afande, you said before you wanted to be a priest.
Yes.
And it didn't turn up for you. Why did you choose prison instead?
Well, for the priest, by the way, I didn't want to become a priest because I wanted to be very religious. During those days, it is the priests who were driving good cars, they were very smart, and with them they would be on that altar up, and the rest of the people would be down, and for the first time they would talk and my father would not answer back. So I thought by being a priest that would be a very good time to manage my father, so that I talk and he also listens to me, because he was a tough man. Yeah, very, very tough. So what happened, of course, because of polygamy in the middle there, it was not possible to be accepted because of those they called the Catholic etiquette. So it wouldn't work out. That's why I said, okay, now let me read hard and become a lawyer, since I'm not becoming a priest. Now, of course, academically, I had issues also, because after senior 4, I didn't continue for about 3 years for other domestic issues. So then by the time I went back, I wouldn't catch up. So the marks I got could only take me to go and do education. So, but I thought if I don't make it as a lawyer, I needed education, because I was sure that in education you'll continue advancing. And that's why I opted for education before now. When I got a chance to go to the university, they allowed me to do social sciences, yet I was already qualified in education. So when the adverts were there, I thought I needed to keep in my line of teaching, but now in a different fashion. And I thought prisoners needed education just like the students I was teaching. That's how I ended up in prisons.